Caitlin has brought a ton of new opportunity, a ton of new eyeballs, and more money to the sport. So instead of downplaying the magnitude of who she is and what she's brought, enjoy the ride and take advantage of the ride.
Caitlin Clark just won Time's Athlete of the Year, but instead of celebrating, she's facing a storm of criticism from unexpected places. You won't believe who's stepping up to defend her, and it's not who you'd expect. NBA champions are rushing to Clark's defense, and their words are lighting up the internet. But here's the real shocker. Where's the WNBA in all this? Get ready for a story that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about women's basketball. Are you ready? Let's go.
Man, first of all, she's unbelievable talent. You know, the things that she's doing is great in her own right. She's creating her own space, she's doing her own thing.
Let's first give some quick context before we jump straight into words of our NBA champs. Just when we thought Caitlin Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award would be a slam dunk for women's basketball, an unexpected critic emerged from within the WNBA's own ranks. Sheila Johnson, co-owner of the Washington Mystics and a titan in the business world, appeared in a CNN interview that left fans scratching their heads.
Let's take a second right now to have a moment of silence for Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson, who suggested that the WNBA as a whole should have been on the cover of Time magazine instead of just Caitlin Clark, who graced the cover last week, which is probably some of the stupidest I've ever heard.
Johnson argued that the entire WNBA deserved the recognition, not just Clark. When you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings, she said, seemingly dismissing the Iowa Stars' incredible impact. But here's where things get messy. Johnson's comments touched on the sensitive issue of race in sports recognition. She expressed concern for players of color who, in her view, are equally talented but often overlooked. "I feel really bad," Johnson stated.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen.
But let's look at the facts. Clark's games have been breaking attendance records left and right. The buzz around her has skyrocketed viewership for women's basketball. It's hard to ignore the positive influence she's had on the sport's popularity. As this controversy unfolds, some unexpected voices are stepping up to defend Clark. And trust me, you won't believe who's coming to her rescue. NBA champions are about to enter the chat, and they've got some strong words for Clark's critics.
While the NBA's ratings continue to drop over 30% as they try to figure out who is going to fill the shoes of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry, the WNBA has a golden goose sitting in their league and it's gotten better, but has done everything to kind of discredit the momentum and eyeballs she's brought to this game.
You've heard the critics, now meet the defenders. When NBA champions Matt Barnes and Trevor Ariza speak up, people listen. But what could these seasoned pros possibly have to say about a college phenom turned WNBA rookie? Their words are about to send shockwaves through the basketball world.
Over 31% of the Mystics' entire attendance was in 2 games the Caitlin team played against the Mystics. The Sparks, the Aces, the Mystics, the Dream, all moved games when Fever came in town because of the attention that Caitlin and her teammates have drawn that last season. Fever's jersey sales was up 1,000% and attendance was up 250%, and they had the largest attendance on average per year, just over 17,000 per game.
Matt Barnes, a former NBA player with a championship ring, isn't just talking basketball. He's laying down some hard truths about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. On his podcast, Barnes didn't mince words.
Let me say this, Caitlin Clark deserves all the flowers. I think she took a lot of and a lot of skeptics coming into the league, as she should. Like, she had to really prove herself. Missed out on the Olympic opportunity, and really had a lot of hard knocks early on in the season where she was getting beat up and her teammates were just watching her. I think the camaraderie in that locker room grew and that team started playing together and made the playoffs, made a nice little run, and had a solid season.
But Barnes didn't stop there. He took aim at the WNBA itself, calling out the league for what he sees as a major missed opportunity.
So Caitlin is someone who has, if you look at it, done everything you're supposed to do and has been criticized along every step of the way. Again, she's damned if she does, and she's damned if she doesn't.
According to Barnes, the WNBA has a golden goose in Clark, but instead of embracing her star power, they've done everything to kind of discredit the momentum and eyeballs she has brought to this game. It's a bold statement from an NBA veteran, essentially accusing the WNBA of fumbling what could be a game-changing moment for women's basketball.
I think they're doing an amazing job with, like you said, telling the story, and the players are actually doing their thing when they get there
Yes.
too. You know, like you mentioned, these couple of players, but Caitlin being the one that we're speaking about right now, she is kicking everybody's ass, really.
But Barnes isn't alone in his defense of Clark. Trevor Ariza, another NBA champion, has joined the conversation, backing up Barnes's take. Ariza sees something special in Clark, comparing her impact to that of legendary players like Larry Bird. It's not just about her skills on the court, it's about her ability to captivate audiences and bring new fans to the sport.
If we had to compare from what we've seen from the NBA, it would, in her effect, probably something similar to Larry Bird.
The significance of these NBA stars stepping up for Clark can't be overstated. These aren't just any players. They're champions, respected voices in the basketball world. When they speak, both fans and industry insiders pay attention. Their support is shining a spotlight on the disconnect between Clark's popularity and the criticism she's facing from within her own league. Barnes drove this point home, highlighting the historical significance of Clark's achievements.
When you see the people say it's not just her, there's other players, and again, we're not distracted. We understand that the depth of talent in that league, but when you also see the numbers that back up the fact that Caitlin has a huge effect. Caitlin Clark is responsible for nearly 27% of the WNBA's league-wide activity in 2024, including attendance. 1 in 6 tickets sold at the WNBA arena attributed to Caitlin Clark. TV viewership was up 300% with Caitlin Clark.
It's a clear message. Clark isn't just good for herself or her team, she's good for women's basketball as a whole. This unexpected alliance between NBA champions and a WNBA phenom is shifting the narrative. It's no longer just about Clark's individual achievements or the debate over her Time Athlete of the Year award. These NBA players are raising bigger questions about how women's basketball markets its stars and whether the WNBA is fully capitalizing on the excitement Clark brings to the game.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You know, they continue to push the game to the next level, you know, and you look at where the NBA was and now where the NBA is at now. And although everyone doesn't agree with the style of play, these guys have taken it to the next level as far as the business of basketball.
Right.
And I think that's what Caitlin will affect, is the business of women's basketball, man. So we wish them the best. Definitely excited to see these upcoming seasons and these women continue to do their thing.
As Barnes and Ariza's comments circulate, they're sparking conversations beyond just Clark's skills on the court. They're pushing people to think about the broader implications for women's sports, athlete marketability, and the future of the WNBA. But this is just the beginning. Another respected voice from the NBA world is about to weigh in, and his perspective might just change everything. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
Congratulations to Caitlin Clark for being named Time Athlete of the Year. I get why people are so upset. I'm a basketball player and a basketball fan. There's a lot of dynamics and a lot of layers to this thing when it deals with Caitlin Clark. But I will say that this is just my opinion. It's certain people, I don't care if you're black, white, Spanish, from Europe, it doesn't matter, that have it, that draw something, okay? And Caitlin is one of those.
Jim Jackson, a former NBA star turned analyst, is stepping into the fray with his own take on Clark's impact. His insights are about to add a whole new dimension to this debate, diving deep into the complexities of marketability in women's basketball. Get ready, because Jackson's analysis is going to make you see this situation in a whole new light.
People, keep in mind, this is a business. When Nike signs an athlete, Okay, they want to get an ROI, return on their investment. How do they do that? Because that athlete resonates. You understand that Caitlin Clark, her jerseys, her apparel, if she has an apparel deal, her shoes will sell.
Jim Jackson isn't just adding his voice to the conversation. He's rewriting the playbook on sports marketing. What if everything we thought we knew about star power in women's basketball is wrong? Jackson's analysis of Caitlin Clark's impact goes far beyond the court, challenging the very foundations of how we value athletes in the WNBA. Jackson, a former NBA player turned basketball analyst, brings a unique perspective to the table. He's not just looking at Clark's skills, he's zeroing in on her marketability, and what he sees is game-changing. Jackson compares Clark's appeal to that of NBA superstar Steph Curry, saying,
It's the reason why Steph Curry, who may not be the best player, okay, in the NBA, but he draws differently. He draws different. He can be marketed differently than other players. And some players he may be considered better, maybe a Kevin Durant. But the market, to market Kevin Durant is a lot different than marketing Steph Curry. People resonate with Steph Curry a lot more than a KD. Now, that may be KD's personality, okay? He doesn't really care. I'm just using KD as an...
But here's where it gets interesting. Jackson doesn't shy away from the tough topics. He points out that while A'ja Wilson is arguably the best player in the WNBA, Clark's marketability surpasses hers. Why? Jackson explains.
Caitlin may not beat... A'ja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. But Caitlin is more marketable because people tend to resonate. I don't care, black, white, whatever it may be. And now there is a race component to it. It always will be in some regards, okay? But the player itself, the person, what she was able to do, how she resonated, how she drew eyes to the TV. I don't agree with the Mystics owner saying that the whole WNBA should have been named that, because that's not true. The whole WNBA benefited this year from the viewership increase.
It's a bold statement, but Jackson backs it up. He highlights how Clark's impact goes beyond her race or playing style. It's about her ability to draw eyes to the TV, to create excitement, to sell merchandise. Caitlin Clark, her jerseys, her apparel will sell, Jackson notes, pointing to the skyrocketing demand for Clark's gear.
There's some other players that get deals, men and women, okay, that have signature shoes that despite how good they are as a player, great as they are as a player, they don't move product because it doesn't resonate, it doesn't translate.
This isn't just about one player's popularity. Jackson's analysis has huge implications for the WNBA's marketing strategy. He's essentially telling the league they're sitting on a gold mine. From a pure marketing perspective, Caitlin Clark was it. Jackson states, it's a wake-up call for a league that's been struggling to grow its audience.
What translates is when Caitlin Clark came into the league and 30,000 jerseys were already ordered, that the Indiana Fever, the season tickets were already sold out. When you go on the road to the Mystics and they have to change the venue in which it's going to be played to play, you know, where the Wizards play, okay, on a couple of occasions. It's only certain people that do that. Whether you like Caitlin or not, are you interested? If you're a ball player, it's certain aspects you got to love about Caitlin's game.
Jackson's words are a rallying cry for the WNBA to embrace Clark's popularity. He's showing them a path forward, a way to grow the game by leveraging the star power they already have. But it raises a big question. If an NBA analyst can see this opportunity so clearly, why can't the WNBA? As Jackson's analysis spreads, it's sparking a crucial conversation about the future of women's basketball. It's forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about marketability and the economics of sports. But more importantly, it's highlighting a glaring issue: the lack of vocal support for Clark from within the WNBA itself.
But purely from a basketball perspective and what she brought to the WNBA, along with Angel Reese and the other players who, I think in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, from a marketing perspective, have really added so much value to where they're going, hence they signed a new TV deal.
Why is it that former NBA players seem more eager to defend and promote Clark than her own league? It's a question that's about to open up a whole new can of worms in this ongoing debate. Imagine a league where its biggest stars left hanging, while outsiders rush to her defense. That's the bizarre reality Caitlin Clark finds herself in right now. The WNBA's silence on Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award is deafening, especially when you compare it to the vocal support coming from NBA champions. Let's break this down. We've got Matt Barnes and Trevor Ariza, NBA champs with no stake in women's basketball, singing Clark's praises. They're calling her a game changer. a once-in-a-generation talent. But where's the WNBA in all this? Crickets.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
You might be thinking, maybe they're just being cautious. But here's the thing. The WNBA has a history of hyping up its rookies. Remember when they rolled out the red carpet for Brittany Griner? Or how about the fanfare around Diana Taurasi? The league knows how to market its stars when it wants to. Let's be real. Clark is bringing eyeballs to the game. She's filling arenas. She's making people care about women's basketball in a way we haven't seen before. Jim Jackson hit the nail on the head when he compared Clark's marketability to Steph Curry's. He's not just blowing smoke. The numbers back it up. Clark's jerseys are flying off the shelves. TV ratings spike when she plays. The WNBA is sitting on a goldmine, and for some reason they're not digging.
She's doing, rating-wise for the WNBA, what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
This isn't just about Clark, though. It's about the future of the WNBA. The league has a chance to ride this wave of excitement, to grow its fan base, to secure better TV deals. But instead, they're letting others control the narrative. Think about the long-term consequences. What message does this send to future stars? To fans? To sponsors? The WNBA risks alienating not just Clark, but a whole generation of players and supporters. We've got to ask, what's the endgame here? Is the WNBA hoping this will all blow over? Or are they missing a crucial opportunity to elevate the entire league? One thing's for sure, the clock's ticking and the ball's in their court.
You know well enough that in 1984, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, the ratings in the NBA were not great. Chicago Stadium was, a third full. He's getting the lion's share of the attention. The games are now getting all of his games are on TV. And he just was a polarizing figure. And Tiger Woods was like that when he went to the PGA as well. He changed the total economics of golf the same way Michael Jordan changed the financial economics of the NBA.
Caitlin Clark's journey from college superstar to WNBA phenom has been anything but smooth. Despite snagging Time's Athlete of the Year award, she's faced unexpected criticism from within her own league. But here's the twist. NBA champions are stepping up to defend her, while the WNBA stays oddly quiet. This whole situation shines a spotlight on the deeper issues in women's basketball. It's not just about one player or one award. It's about how we value and support our athletes. The WNBA has a golden opportunity here. They've got a rising star who's bringing new fans to the game. Instead of pushing her aside, they should be lifting her up, along with all their talented players. It's time for the league to embrace its stars. Because when one player shines, the whole league can sparkle. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.